Now, the British Medical Association has just published a report which shows some quite alarming developments in child and adolescent mental health.
There has been a phenomenal rise in the increase in the prescription of psychiatric drugs to children.
There's been a significant increase in the prescribing of drugs such as Ritalin and Prozac, and earlier this month it was announced that it's okay to prescribe Prozac to 8-year-olds. Are we giving a chemical cosh to kids who are suffering from a whole mass of problems that we're not really getting underneath?
Statistically, 1 in 4 people will experience mental health difficulties in the course of 1 year. That's a quarter of the population, 25% of the people sitting in this room, 25% of the people you know, you talk to, you see every day. But if one of them told you that they thought they had a problem or that they needed help, would you think of them as a weirdo, an attention seeker, a freak or a psycho? Would you label them with these stereotypes that so many people are labelled with every day? Or would you still think of them as the friend you've known all your life? You should, but would you? These kinds of prejudice and labels grow from the ignorance and fear that surrounds and has always surrounded mental illness. 1 in 4 is such a huge statistic, meaning that mental health problems are as common as cancer, and yet still there remains a taboo around the subject of mental illness. If it affects a quarter of us during a year, and it's probably affecting some of us right now, how come we don't talk about it?
I think I first noticed that there was something wrong when my personality and me as a person started to change from what, I recognised. I got very paranoid, very introverted, didn't really trust people. I got a lot of obsessions, kind of like mild OCD stuff, and it just scared me.
No, there was nothing wrong with me. I didn't feel there was anything wrong with me in that sense. I found out when I had to stop using my buffers, my drink and my drugs. That's when I found out there was something wrong, which when I was about 30, 35. But if you used to ask my ex-wife, and all the ex-friends that I've got, they'll tell you a completely different story, because they lived it. I lived it in one sense, but it's like the eye of the storm, innit, in the hurricane. I'm in the middle of this bloody great big thing, and everything else around me is in the storm. I'm not. I'm safe. I'm safe in the little cocoon of it. And you come out of it and you're looking around you and say, oh, nice day, nothing the matter here. You don't see all the destruction, and you can be that destruction if that makes sense.
I think I have been labelled because I have mental health problems. I don't think people really understand about mental health problems at all sometimes, and so then they do judge and stereotype.
Don't ruin it,
they say.
Don't ruin this.
Don't
let anyone see.
Cover up the scars.
Redo your makeup. Paint on the smiles and the laughs.
A
mask for the masses. A mask covers all you see, but that's all it is. A cover, a fake. This, everything in this room, a phony cover for the world to see. To believe in the normality, the perfect child in a perfect world.
But the real me is the one who ruins it for them, who once they start crying, can't stop. Once they start screaming, will not be quiet. I feel my perfect world closing in around me. I don't know what to do. How do I reach out when there's no hand to hold?
Shouldn't they be proud? Life, my problems, help me.
They want more lies, more covers, more fakes. Lies and covers for the lies and fakes for the covers, and they say I'm unbalanced, disturbed, a problem child. They're the ones with the issues. What will the neighbours say?
What will the neighbours say?
It's quite weird actually voicing all these these things. I wish I had a dictionary so I could challenge. Oh, you mean blah blah, because it's hard work. Not hard work. It's not easy. Verbalising, because it can be all taken the wrong way. Whoever sees this and thinks I'm better, then that's fine. It's great. But I know when I watch the film, I will be looking for things that are normal, which is everything. The colour, the texture of the thing. Has he got the sound right? I'm not talking about the people. We're talking about the film. Does that make sense? It's not about. If if anything, what I would like from this is people just to understand that we're no different.
I think I have gained some positive experiences out of my mental health problems, but it's difficult to see them, I think, sometimes, because there's been so many bad things as well. I think I wish it hadn't happened, but as it has happened, and because I can't change it, I have had some experiences that I suppose were good and bad, like going into a psychiatric hospital. It wasn't nice, but I met some people in there, and it gives you a different perspective on life, really.
Some people don't talk about it or don't want to talk about it because they think that they're going to get judged or stereotyped, and they shouldn't have to feel like that.
I think I describe someone with mental health issues as anybody, really. I think anyone could have mental health problems. I don't think it's always obvious. I think I was about 12 when I first thought I might have mental health problems. I think that's when sort of physical things that you can measure it by started, like self-harm and stuff like that.
Did you hear what he did last week? Die. Talk about issues. So weird. Psycho.
You freak.
Just be shot. He cut it through. So he doesn't kill himself. Probably emo.
I think it kind of affects everything, really. I think it affects like day-to-day life.
I never really thought I was different, but knew I was, if that makes sense. It isn't something that you want to be when you're a kid. I mean, I could give you a violin story. We've all got one. I mean, part of the things I had to come up with is I thought I was instrumental in my father's death and stuff like that at 12. And you hide all that away. You can't. And I never had the confidence or the strength, not the confidence, the strength. I never had the honesty, because it ain't about honesty, I don't think. It's about being lost. So I can blame anything, but I'm not a victim, if that makes sense. I am what I am.
Just for everyone to be accepted, for there to be acceptance and a kind of rule out that we're all blubbering wrecks sitting in a corner, because it's far from the truth. Sometimes it's just people that want to talk because they need to. And so I hope that this film kind of shows that we're not all psychos and that, we're just people.
Statistically, 1 in 4 people will experience mental health difficulties in the course of 1 year. That's a quarter of the population, 25% of the people sitting in this room, 25% of the people you know, you talk to, you see every day. The sooner this is realised and recognised, the sooner the taboo around mental health will dissipate and the stereotypes will die out. If we eliminate the ignorance and fear surrounding mental health, sufferers will be able to face their problems without the pressure of trying to conform to the image of normality that the media bombards us with every day. What is normal anyway? The darkness you see in a person may not be a darkness they see in themselves. The sooner we realise that normality is a near impossibility in a world that's always changing, growing and adapting, the sooner sufferers can find acceptance. 1 in 4 is such a huge statistic, one that we cannot continue to ignore, and yet the wall of taboo still surrounds the subject of mental health. But the fact is, it affects a quarter of you every year, and is affecting a quarter of you right now. Let's start talking about it.